The full-level daughter, she is back. Chapter 1, Reborn Back. Chapter 1, Rebirth and Return. She actually came back again. Sitting on the bed, Yi Lingyan looked a little dazed. She looked at the familiar but unfamiliar environment around her, and she couldn't tell whether it was real or just her hallucination. This is a luxurious but stylish room. The decoration of the room is mainly blue and white, revealing a trace of luxury in simplicity and elegance. Although the furnishings in the room are simple, it can be seen that the price is expensive. It can be seen that the owner of this room is a very stylish person. Yi Lingyan is no stranger to this room. This is her room in Ye's house. No, to be precise, this is the room Yi Shiyuan lived in before her return. After Yi Shiyuan returned to Ye's house, she moved out of this room. Afterwards, Yi Shiyuan lived in this room and redecorated the room again. After that, she lived in the guest room, like an outsider living in Ye's house. In fact, she is indeed an outsider in this so-called home. She used to be the eldest lady of the Yi family, but just before her 16th birthday, an unexpected appearance broke her once peaceful life. The mother of the Yi family, Lin Wanqin, had an accident in a car accident and needed a blood transfusion from her family members. After testing her blood, it was found that it did not match that of her parents. In other words, she is not the daughter of the Yi family at all. Looking at this once strange yet familiar place, Yi Lingyan felt nothing at all. If she was reborn immediately after the death of the first life, she might be very excited, wanting revenge, and seeking justice for herself. However, after experiencing the long years in the cultivation world, she is very calm at this moment. Of course, this does not mean that she can completely ignore what happened. Even though many years had passed, she still couldn't forget the past, including the moment of her tragic death. Looking up at the calendar, Yi Lingyan's face was silent. If she remembers correctly, today is the day when Yi Shiyuan returns to the Yi family. Once, after Yi Shiyuan returned to the Yi family, she planned to leave this place. After all, she also knew in her heart that she had occupied Yi Shiyuan's seat for so long. If she continued to stay, it would be bad for anyone. However, Yi Shiyuan has been trying to persuade her to stay, and even asked Ye's parents to persuade her that they can be good sisters with her. She was reluctant to part with her adoptive parents, and Yi Shiyuan tried to persuade her to stay, but she finally stayed. It's just that she didn't expect that staying was the beginning of her nightmare. She was constantly being framed by Yi Shiyuan, but everyone was on Yi Shiyuan's side. Everyone felt that she had been targeting Yi Shiyuan because she felt her status was being threatened. No one believes her. Everyone thinks that she loves vanity, that's why she stays at Ye's house all the time. Finally, she was kicked out of Ye's house in embarrassment. However, being kicked out of the Yi family is not the end. Even though she was kicked out of Ye's house, Yi Shiyuan didn't let her go. In the end, she was drained of bone marrow and died. Because Yi Shiyuan had leukemia, and her bone marrow was just right. She was kidnapped by Yi Shiyuan's admirer, and finally her bone marrow was drained, and she died on the operating table. Yi Lingyan turned over and got up directly. She closed her eyes and felt it. Opening his eyes again, Yi Lingyan's eyes were full of joy. As soon as she raised her hand, with the palm facing upwards, a cluster of golden and black flames leaped between her applause in a single thought. The nether hellfire, her natal flame. Unexpectedly, although she returned to this world again, her natal fire also followed. Moreover, just now, she actually felt the existence of aura. Most importantly, she found that her cultivation had not completely disappeared. Although the cultivation base has regressed a lot, it can still be cultivated. Miss, Sir and Madam let you go down. While Yi Lingyan was still immersed in joy, there was a knock on the door. End of this chapter. The full-level daughter, she is back. Chapter 2, Yi Shiyuan. Chapter 2 Yi Shiyuan. The person who came was Zhang Ma, the housekeeper of the Yi family, and she was standing at the door at this time. Didn't hear the answer inside, Zhang Ma kept knocking on the door again. Miss, did you hear that? Mr. and Mrs. are still waiting for you below. The door was knocked loudly. Zhang Ma's face showed a trace of impatience, completely different from the usual respect. In fact, not only her, but also the servants of the entire Yi family are the same. Although they are servants, they are also able to adapt to the wind. Ever since they knew that Yi Lengyan was not the biological daughter of the Yi family, their attitudes changed a lot. The usual respect is gone, replaced by love and indifference. Yi Lengan sneered at the corner of his mouth, got up straight away, opened the door, and said lightly, "I see, let's go down immediately." After finishing speaking, he closed the door again. Seeing Yi Lengyan's attitude, Zhang Ma let out a yell, "I really thought I was still a rich lady. But she's just a wild girl, and she dares to show her prestige here." However, even though she was dissatisfied, Mama Zhang didn't dare to go too far, she even dared to curse in a low voice. After all, the situation is unclear right now. If Yi Lengyan stayed in the end, she was also afraid that she would be retaliated against. Yi Lengyan, who was inside the door at this time, didn't care what Zhang's mother outside was thinking. She looked around the room, then took out a travel bag, and simply packed a few clothes. She didn't even look at the expensive cosmetics and jewelry on the dressing table. Carrying the travel bag, Yi Lengyan walked out of the room. At this time, in the lobby of the Yi family villa, Yi father Yi Li and Yi mother Lin Wanqin were sitting on the sofa, and a girl was sitting between them. This girl is none other than Yi Shiyuan. Lin Wanqin held Yi Shiyuan's hand tightly, with excitement and joy on her face, which showed that she was not in a calm mood at the moment. Yi Li sat on the other side and looked at Yi Shiyuan. Although he didn't say anything, it could be seen from the expression on his face that he was in a good mood. Opposite them, sat a man in black with a handsome face and a tall and straight figure. This is Yi Anyun, the young master of the Yi family. Did he interject a word? When he looked at Yi Shiyuan, there was tenderness in his eyes. No matter who reads it, they will feel that this is a very warm family. At least, Yi Lengyan, who was standing on the stairs, felt like this when he saw this scene. If it was her in the past, seeing such a situation, she might feel uncomfortable or feel inferior. But now, she couldn't make any more waves in her heart. In the past, she also longed for family affection, but the long years have already diluted this emotion. The family of 4 downstairs also saw the people above the stairs. "Lengyan, come down and take a look." Lin Wanqin raised her head, but she didn't let go of Yi Shiyuan. "This is Shiyuan, she will return to live in this house from today, you must help her well in the future." Obviously, she only had Yi Shiyuan in her eyes at this time, so she didn't notice the luggage bag in Yi Lengyan's hand. Yi Anyun noticed it. When he looked at Yi Lengyan, he was a little surprised. "Lengyan, what's wrong with you? What are you trying to do with your travel bag?" Although Yi Shiyuan is back now, he never thought of asking Yi Lengyan to leave. In his heart, Yi Shiyuan is his sister, and Yi Lengyan is also his sister. Yi Anyun's words caught the attention of Yi Li and Lin Wanqin, and they also saw the luggage in Yi Lengyan's hands. Feeling cold in his heart, Yi Lengyan faintly evoked a smile. "Since Shiyuan is back, I naturally have to leave." End of this chapter. The Full-Level Daughter, She is Back. Chapter 3, Retain. Chapter 3, Retention. As soon as this remark came out, it was as if a bomb had been dropped, causing everyone to be a little confused. Why? Lin Wanqin stood up immediately and came directly to Yi Lengyan. "Lengyan, why did you leave? Even if Shiyuan came back, there is no need for you to leave. In my heart, you will always be my daughter." She also thought the same way in her heart. Although Shiyuan was her daughter, Lengyan was also the daughter she had raised for more than 10 years. If Yi Lengyan were to leave, she would be reluctant to part with it. Hearing such words, Yi Shiyuan's eyes flashed a glimmer of haze, and she raised her head again, but her face was sincere, and she walked to Yi Lengyan's side. "Yes. Sister, there is no need for you to leave. I came back this time only because I want to go back to my parents, and I don't intend to replace you. If you are unhappy, I can leave immediately." While speaking, Yi Shiyuan's tone was a little choked up, and her face was at a loss, as if she had done something wrong. Seeing Yi Shiyuan's appearance, Lin Wanqin immediately forgot to keep Yi Lengyan. She took Yi Shiyuan's hand and said distressedly, "What nonsense are you talking about? This is Ye's family, it's your home, where are you going? Mom lost you for so many years, and now you finally came back. If you still want to leave, aren't you trying to gouge out my heart?" When Yi Li looked at Yi Lengyan, there was a trace of disapproval in his eyes. Lengyan, even if Shiyuan comes back, you are still our daughter. For Yi Lengyan, his mood is a bit complicated. Over the years, he has always loved Yi Lengyan as his own daughter. Although there is a little bit of utilitarianism in these loves, they have never been treated badly. When he knew that Yi Lengyan was not his daughter, he made a quick decision and immediately went to investigate what happened back then. After finding his own daughter, he naturally wouldn't let his daughter wander away, so he took her back immediately. However, he did not intend to let Yi Lengyan leave. Dad, Mom, I will always remember your kindness in nurturing you over the years. Yi Lengyan smiled slightly. However, your biological daughter has come back, so I will naturally go back to Ye's family. Otherwise, wouldn't it be too unfair to Ye's parents? It's also a coincidence, Yi Shiyuan was raised by the Yi family, and Yi Lengyan was raised by the Yi family. However, this night is not that night. The Yi family is different from the Yi family, it is just an ordinary family. A trace of embarrassment appeared on Lin Wanqin's face. Indeed, she didn't think about the feelings of the overnight family's parents before. She was just reluctant to leave Yi Lengyan, who had been raised for more than 10 years, but she never thought about the feelings of being the same parents, the parents of the Yi family. Lengyan, you can stay, and we won't stop you from contacting Ye's parents. Yi Anyan said, you can go back to see them at any time. Yi Shiyuan, who was on the side, hated her teeth. She was very dissatisfied with Lin Wanqin and Yi Anyan's retention of Yi Lengyan. It was like this in her previous life. Although she returned to the Yi family, she was no match for Yi Lengyan in any aspect. Yi Lengyan grew up in Ye's parents since he was a child, and he received the best education, including piano, chess, calligraphy, painting, and learning. She stood beside Yi Lengyan, like an ugly duckling. As long as there is a conflict between her and Yi Lengyan, everyone will stand by Yi Lengyan's side. Compared to her, Yi Lengyan is like the young lady of the Yi family. Whether it's her parents, brother, or someone she likes, Yi Lengyan is the only one in her eyes. In the end, even when she died, everyone was just saying she deserved it. However, since God has given her a chance to do it all over again, she will never be as stupid as she was in her previous life. In this lifetime, she will definitely trample Yi Lengyan under her feet. She wants to take everything back, parents, brother, and lover. Most importantly, this time, she also has a very good helper. Now, she is going to drive Yi Lengyan out of Ye's house. She would like to take a good look at whether Yi Lengyan, who left the Yi family, can still be as beautiful as her previous life. Host, the system suggests that you'd better keep Yi Lengyan, this will allow you to better absorb Yi Lengyan's luck. End of this chapter. The full-level daughter, she is back. Chapter 4, Promise. Chapter 4, Commitment. Just when Yi Shiyuan was about to drive Yi Lengyan out, a voice suddenly appeared in her mind. She wasn't surprised at all, obviously knowing the existence of this so-called system. You mean, I can't drive her out? When Yi Shiyuan returned to this world, she found that she had been bound to this system. Also with the help of the system, she was almost reborn. With the help of the system, she made preparations for returning to Ye's house early on. She is different now from her previous life. In her previous life, when she returned to Ye's house, she knew almost nothing. Under the background of Yi Lengyan, she was almost humbled to the ground. But it's different now, even when she just returned to Ye's house, she was generous, like a young lady who grew up in a wealthy family. Moreover, she still has the help of the system now, she will definitely be able to step on Yi Lengyan hard. It's not that it can't be done, the system just proposes a reasonable deal. The mechanical voice in his head continued to sound, Yi Lengyan staying is much more important than driving him out. Yi Shiyuan didn't show it on the surface, but her heart was already turning 1,000 times. She trusts the system very much. Without the help of the system, there is no way for her to return to the Yi family so early. In her previous life, she was only admitted to the Yi family after she was 18 years old. At the moment, she has made her own decision in her heart. Yi Shiyuan didn't notice, when she was communicating with the system in her mind, Yi Lengyan glanced in her direction, her eyes flashed thoughtfully. Sister, don't leave. Yi Shiyuan raised her eyes, I never thought of asking you to leave. I came back only because I wanted to be with my family. Moreover, I have no sisters since I was a child. I am very happy to be sisters with you. And I just returned to this home, so you can help me too. Besides, you are also reluctant to part with your parents and elder brother. So, don't go, stay, okay? Yi Li, Lin Wanqin and the others couldn't help showing gratified expressions when they heard such words. Sister, I know your intentions are good. Yi Lingyan didn't let go, it's just that I always want to go back to my home, don't I? Besides, when you come back, won't your adoptive parents miss your own daughter? In her previous life, she was deceived by these high-sounding words. In the end, if you stay, what you get is not family affection, but eternal doom. Yi Shiyuan's expression froze for a moment. Sister, you. She was very dissatisfied in her heart, she had already put down her figure, but she didn't expect Yi Lingyan to be so ignorant. Wouldn't it be better to stay in a rich family like the Yi family than to go back to that poor family? Sister, you don't need to persuade me anymore. Yi Lingyan raised his hand, and then looked at Yi Li and the others. Dad, Mom, I am very grateful for your kindness in nurturing me over the years. However, I have to leave today. In the future, if there is something that needs my help, I can promise you a request. Although her death was also caused by the Yi family's parents, the kindness of nurturing her is indelible. She is a cultivator, and she pays attention to the cycle of cause and effect. So, she has to pay back the kindness Ye's parents have shown her. Today, what she left behind is a promise. End of this chapter. The full-level daughter, she is back. Chapter 5, Leave. Chapter 5 Leave. Seeing Yi Lingyan's resolute appearance, Yi Li's expression was not very good. He had already tried to keep him in this way, but Yi Lingyan was still so ignorant that he had to leave. Is that Yi family better than Yi family? Lin Wanqin was very reluctant. Lingyan, do you really want to leave like this? Dad, Mom, Yi Lingyan picked up the bag at his feet to salute. Brother, take care. After finishing speaking, he turned around and left. With such a clean and neat figure, everyone present didn't know what to say to keep him. System, what should we do now? Yi Shiyuan called out in her heart. However, the system did not give her any reply for a long time. She did not continue to ask. After leaving Ye's house, Yi Lingyan didn't go to Ye's house, but to an old community. Looking at the small house that was almost completely different from the Yi family, Yi Lingyan didn't feel any discomfort. She sat down directly on the sofa and breathed a sigh of relief. This small house was bought with the prize money she won from participating in the competition in the third year of junior high school. She didn't know how she bought this house by mistake. Now it seems that there is a foresight. Yi Ling sat on the sofa peacefully, lost in thought. When she was at Ye's house just now, Yi Shiyuan behaved very strangely. At the beginning, Yi Shiyuan obviously wanted to drive her out of the Yi family. However, later on, I don't know why I suddenly changed my mind. In her previous life, she didn't notice it, but now it seems that Yi Shiyuan's behavior is really strange. What is the reason that Yi Shiyuan's attitude has undergone a 180-degree change in this short period of time? And Yi Lingyan's eyes flashed a dark light. Now she is not what she used to be. Although her current cultivation is not as good as at her peak, she dares to say that in this world, she has almost no rivals. Just now, she could clearly feel the strange fluctuation that suddenly appeared on Yi Shiyuan's body. That strange fluctuation is not cultivation, but it doesn't seem like something that can appear in this world. Now it seems that her past tragedy may not be as simple as it seems on the surface. At least, Yi Shiyuan is very good. There must be a secret about her. It's really interesting. Yi Lingyan rested his chin on one hand. It seems that there is a reason for my miserable life. At this time, the Yi family. Yi Shiyuan looked around her room with dissatisfaction on her face. When she passed Yi Lingyan's room, the door was not completely closed. She looked in through the crack of the door and saw what was going on inside. That room was almost twice the size of the room she lived in now, and the furnishings inside were much better than her current room. Obviously she is the daughter of the Yi family, the eldest lady of this family, but the room she lives in now is not as good as a fake. She knew clearly in her heart, although Yi Lingyan left Ye's house now. However, This does not mean that parents and elder brother have forgotten about Yi Lengyan. Judging from the situation just now, Yi Lengyan still occupies a high position in their hearts. What she has to do now is to replace Yi Lengyan in their hearts as soon as possible. System, are you there? Yi Shiyuan tried to call. I don't know why, the system suddenly stopped responding just now. End of this chapter. The full-level daughter, she is back. Chapter 6, Daughter of Luck. Chapter 6, The Daughter of Luck. Host, I'm here. The mechanical voice sounded. Yi Lengyan left the Yi family and got out of control. It's not a good thing for you. Then why didn't you think of a way to help me just now? Yi Shiyuan said with a hint of impatience in her tone. Besides, it would be better if she left. Even if she leaves, I won't let her go. Host, Yi Lengyan's luck is very strong. Only by capturing all her luck can you become the heroine of this world, the daughter of luck. I know. Yi Shiyuan was determined to win. I will never lose to her. I will never forget the lessons of my previous life. I will definitely make Yi Lengyan 1,000 times worse than me. She feels that she is the protagonist of this world. Otherwise, how could she have the chance to start over again? She can almost be said to be the prophet of this world now, and with the help of the system, how could she still lose to Yi Lengyan? Nested in the small house for a few days, Yi Lengyan took a good rest and sorted out her thoughts. Checked her bank card balance, she couldn't help but sighed. When she left Ye's house, she didn't take anything with her except a few simple clothes. She doesn't want what doesn't belong to her. However, it is true that a penny beats a hero now. To be honest, she is still a minor now. Of course, she didn't think about going back to Ye's house. Neither the Yi family nor the Yi family will belong to her. Although she thinks so, Yi Lengyan still plans to go to Ye's house recently. Even if you don't plan to go back, you should take a look. In her last life, she didn't go to Ye's house, but met Ye's parents a few times. To be honest, the attitude of Ye's parents towards her is also very strange, not like treating her as their own daughter at all, but more like treating her as a guest. Moreover, thinking about it now, Ye's parents seemed to have a little fear when they treated her. She didn't think too much in the past, but now it seems that she is full of suspicion. Forget it, don't think about it too much. Yi Lengyan stood up. Let's talk about these things later. The most important thing now is to make some money first. Otherwise, I'm afraid I won't even be able to eat soon. Unexpectedly, I am already a great power in the transcending tribulation period, yet I would be overwhelmed by a penny. Although her space came along with her, many of the things in it have forbidden spells, and she can't open them at all with her current strength. As for the things that can be obtained, it is not suitable to take them out. So, the most important thing for her now is to make money first. With a backhand turn, Yi Lengyan had an extra porcelain bottle in his hand. If anyone sees it here, they can't help but be amazed. It is impossible to see what material this bottle is made of, but just from the surface, it is definitely not ordinary. Packed in such a bottle, it can be seen how precious the contents are. Actually, what is contained in this bottle is just the most common beauty pill. When he was in the world of cultivating immortals, Yi Lengyan was an alchemist. This is just a very common elixir, which she practiced when she first started learning alchemy. This elixir does not have much effect in the world of cultivating immortals. Because with the advancement of cultivation, a woman's appearance can be kept young and beautiful, and there is no need to use pills to maintain it. However, this elixir should be very popular in this world. End of this chapter. The full-level daughter, she is back. Chapter 7, Yen Shan Tang. Chapter 7, Ren Shan Tang. A moment. Yi Lengyan came to a shabby-looking pharmacy. The pharmacy looks like it has been around for many years, and it is still in disrepair. There is a signboard hanging above the entrance of the pharmacy, which is still crooked, and a few words can be vaguely seen on it, Renshintang. No matter who sees such a pharmacy, they probably won't have the idea of going in to buy medicine. Yi Lengyan strode in as if seeing the dilapidated pharmacy. In the pharmacy, there is only one old man looking after the store. After seeing someone coming in, the old man didn't get up, but just looked up, and then asked lazily, "What medicine do you want?" Likely ignoring the answer, as if he didn't care whether the other party really wanted to buy medicine here. Even if the customer leaves, he doesn't seem to care. I don't buy medicine. Yi Lengyan directly put the porcelain bottle on the table. I sell medicine, elixir. Do you accept it here? In her previous life, she knew there was such a place. Of course, at the level of the Yi family, it is impossible for her to know too much about this aspect. The reason why she knew was because she was studying in the most famous noble high school in Kyoto. The students studying there are almost all the children of wealthy families in Kyoto, so naturally they can get a lot of news that outsiders don't know. To be able to know the existence of this Renchentang is only a coincidence, and I heard a little bit of news. In the past, although she knew that such a place existed, she had never been here. It is definitely not a wise move to rush over without reaching that level. Hearing Yi Lengyan's words, the lazy old man immediately regained his energy. A sharp light flashed in his eyes. Little girl, do you know what you're talking about? While speaking, the old man's aura also changed drastically. He was just an ordinary neighbor's grandfather just now, but now he has a trace of evil spirit on him. If it was an ordinary person, under such an air pressure, their legs would have been so frightened that their legs would have gone limp. Yi Lengyan hasn't changed at all, and the expression on his face is still indifferent. Old man, you just need to tell me whether you accept pills here or not. If you accept it, just take a look. If you don't accept it, I will sell it elsewhere. The old man's eyes became darker and darker, and his aura became more and more fierce. After a while, the aura on the old man's body subsided, and when he looked at Yi Lengyan, there was a little more seriousness in his eyes. My guest, we are here to collect pills. But, I don't know what kind of pill you want to sell, customer. Although she didn't know who the little girl in front of her was, but she didn't flinch when she was in full swing, so she knew she was not a simple person. It's just that I don't know when there will be such a number one person in the capital. This is a beauty pill. Yi Lengyan directly opened the bottle cap. If an elderly person takes it, they can be at least 10 years younger. If a young woman takes it, there is no accident, and it can maintain the same appearance for at least 20 years. This is just the lowest level of beauty pills. If it is a high-end beauty pill, it will not be a problem to keep the same appearance for 100 years. However, if such a pill is taken out, it is really against the sky. End of this chapter. The full-level daughter, she is back. Chapter 8, try it. Chapter 8, give it a try. The legendary beauty pill. Unlike Yi Lengyan's calm and breezy, the old man almost jumped up. Are you talking about the legendary beauty pill that can keep the face unchanged? You know, even the Danmeng in the hidden world has not been able to refine such a pill. Of course, there are also these beauty pills in the Danmeng, but they can't keep their appearance unchanged all the time, they can only delay aging. Yi Lengyan was a little speechless. If you want to understand it this way, it's actually okay. She did not expect that this ordinary low-level elixir could be called a legendary elixir. From this point of view, the spiritual energy in this world is really thin. Even if there is an alchemist, they should not be able to make any good pills. Guest, if this is really a beauty pill, then we will definitely accept it. The old man's face was a little more respectful. It's just that this beauty pill has never appeared before, so. To be honest, after the excitement, he felt a little uneasy. Because he had never heard of this elixir, let alone identify it now. However, if this is really the legendary nourishing pill, it will definitely bring them great benefits. I missed this opportunity, and I don't know if there will be another one in the future. It's okay, you can try it now. Yi Lengyan didn't feel angry because of being questioned. She directly poured out a beauty pill and handed it to the old man. You take it now, and you will see the effect immediately. There are still many such low-level pills in her space, and she doesn't feel bad at all. Besides, if there is no more, she can still refine it by herself. Now she is a little lucky. Fortunately she got such a portable cave space by accident, and was able to follow her back. If it was just an ordinary storage artifact, there would be no way to bring it back. Her collection for so many years must be ruined. Ah! The old man seemed a little frightened and didn't react at all. Yi Lengyan didn't hesitate, and directly stuffed the elixir into the old man's mouth. Before he could react, the old man felt something suddenly in his mouth, and subconsciously swallowed it. When he reacted, he realized that he had swallowed something. Yi Lingyan said bluntly, do you have a mirror here? Take a look in the mirror. The old man came back to his senses, and immediately walked towards the inside. He was very shocked by this beauty pill, but at the same time, he also doubted whether this legendary pill really existed. After a while, the old man came out again. At this time, he was holding a mirror in his hand, and he was still panting because he walked too quickly. When he saw Yi Lingyan still standing there waiting, he couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. Dear customer, do you really want to sell these pills to us? The old man's tone was very respectful, and he didn't seem to be treating a junior, but a senior who was much stronger than himself. The moment he saw it in the mirror, he couldn't believe his eyes. In just a few minutes after taking the nourishing pill, his gray hair turned black, and the wrinkles on his face also decreased a lot, making him look 10 years younger. And, most importantly, he didn't feel any discomfort, instead he felt an unprecedented sense of relief. He can clearly feel that he is young not only in appearance, but also in himself. He can almost imagine how many people will flock to it when the news of this beauty pill spreads. End of this chapter. The full-level daughter, she is back. Chapter 9, Heart Attack. Chapter 9, Heart Attack. Of course I will sell it to you. Yi Lingyan is not used to the old man's attitude. When she was in the realm of comprehension, she always respected her strength. I don't know how many people older than her bowed to her. What price do you plan to accept? There was a hint of embarrassment on the old man's face. We haven't received such a precious pill before, so I need to report this matter before I can set a price. Or, if the customer is not in a hurry, you can leave it with us. We will hold an auction soon. At that time, the auction should fetch a higher price. As long as the news of Yang Yen pill spreads, it will definitely attract many customers. Since ancient times, no woman has been able to resist the temptation of beauty pills. Yi Lingyan frowned, if you sell it to you guys, how long will it take to sell it? Although the auction is obviously more beneficial to her, but she is short of money now. What's more, she doesn't care at all about how many low-level beauty pills she wants. The old man froze for a moment. Guest, if you can trust our Renchintang, then you can put this beauty pill with us first. After thinking for a moment, the old man said, now I can mobilize 3 million working capital, and I will pay you a deposit of 3 million. You leave your account number, and we will transfer the remaining money to your account when the price comes out. What do you think? Okay, that's it. Yi Lingyan immediately agreed. Obviously, such a decision is the most suitable for her current situation. As for whether Renchintang would swallow her beauty pills, she wasn't worried at all. If Renchintang really dared to covet her things, then she would let the other party swallow and spit it out. Glancing at the bank card balance on the notification on the phone, Yi Ling left Renchintang contentedly. After Yi Lingyan left, the old man didn't dare to delay and closed the shop immediately. He is about to return to the family with that bottle of nourishing pills, and things will change if it is too late. Just before Yi Lingyan left, he also tentatively inquired whether the beauty pill was refined by the other party. Although he thinks this is unlikely, because the other party looks like a teenage girl, it is impossible to refine this legendary pill. However, even if it wasn't made by the other party, then she definitely knows a very powerful alchemist. Moreover, even he dare not underestimate that aura. So, even if the opponent is a few rounds younger than him, he dare not show the slightest disrespect. Master, what's wrong with you? On the main road, an uncle who looked like a driver had a panicked expression on his face. A relatively older old man was lying on the ground with a pale face, as if he would die at any moment. Many people around are trying to go up, but no one dares to step forward to help. The old man seemed to be in a bad condition, and he didn't know what happened. At this time, if you rush forward to help, who will be responsible for what happens? Yi Lingyan saw this scene from a distance. She stepped forward and saw the condition of the old man who fell on the ground with just one glance. Didn't you bring your medicine? Yi Lingyan looked at the driver, he's having a heart attack. End of this chapter. The full-level daughter, she is back. Chapter 10, Save Lives. Chapter 10, Saving People. The driver seemed to be frightened too, unable to react. I didn't bring my medicine, I forgot to bring it. Yi Lingyan frowned, stepped forward, squatted down, and began to check. The old man's face was almost translucently pale, he had difficulty breathing, and even his heartbeat sometimes stopped. If it continues like this, if the ambulance doesn't arrive, this person will die. After feeling the man's pulse, she sighed and muttered to herself, "It's also your luck that you met me today. Forget it. Just treat me as a good deed every day." Yi Lengyan reached into his pocket, but actually took out a pill from the space, and planned to stuff it into the old man's mouth. "What would you do?" The driver on the side was always paying attention to the old man, so he naturally saw Yi Lengyan's actions. He didn't know what the little girl was going to do, but if something happened to the old man, he couldn't escape the responsibility. "I want to save him." Faced with doubts, Yi Lengyan was not angry, he can't wait for the ambulance to arrive. "If you don't let me save him, he will definitely die today." She is not a nosy person, but just now she took a glance and found that there is a faint auspiciousness around this old man, which can only appear on people with merit. It can be seen that this old man has done a lot of good things. Since she saw such a person, she was naturally willing to save him. "What nonsense are you talking about?" The driver was very angry. "How can you curse our old man? Also, you don't know what it is, how can you just give it to our old man? If something goes wrong, you can't be responsible." "Oh, little girl, stop making trouble, the ambulance will be here soon." "Yes. Don't join in the fun here when you are young." The crowd on the side also began to speak out, obviously no one thought that Yi Lengyan could save the old man. Facing the doubts from the people around him, Yi Lengyan's expression didn't change at all. Before everyone could react, she opened the old man's mouth and stuffed the elixir into it. "Master!" The driver screamed, with fear in his tone. He stretched out his hand, and was about to push Yi Lengyan away. He didn't expect this kind-looking little girl to do such a thing. He didn't even know what the other party had eaten for the old man. If something happened to the old man today, the master and the young master would definitely not forgive him easily. Yi Lengyan reacted very quickly, he was not pushed at all, and quickly dodged with a dodge. "You little girl, how could you do such a thing? You are simply murder." The little girl now is really, even if she wants to show off, she can't do this. Isn't this a joke with human life? Everyone, don't let her escape. If something goes wrong with this old man, then this is a murderer. People around are discussing, but there is a consensus that Yi Lengyan must not be allowed to leave. Yi Lengyan didn't intend to leave either, and turned a deaf ear to the accusations of the people around him. She just kept observing the movement of the old man. What's going on here? At this moment, an old voice suddenly sounded, which immediately stopped all the discussions. End of this chapter.